I just took a quick trip to Eataly. I sure did. I got a big old snack here for us to share because this is probably gonna end up being a very long video, and I hope that it makes sense because I don't really plan out anything anymore. I just like getting on here when I have on a cute little fit, okay? And when I have a stream of consciousness. And I feel so empowered lately because I stopped being a victim and I made a second channel to align with where I'm at mentally, you know, where my soul is aligned. Now, what do I mean by that? If you saw one of my past videos a few weeks ago titled, "The Real Reason I Move Around So Much," I disclosed that I am not, what's a word that rhymes with that word? Jacksonated. Jacksonville, Florida nated. I am not Jacksonated. That video just unlocked so much freedom for me. The amount of support that I have gotten. So many young people too, not just like people who are older or whatever. People are coming up to me in coffee shops. Someone came up to me at Ascension Coffee, was like, "Just so you know," I'm like, "Why are you whispering? Say it out loud." She's like, "Just so you know, I'm not either. And I got ostracized and I actually moved away from New York City too." Like basically by me putting my opinion out there, that little opinion, which I was so afraid of, I have made so many new connections now this week. I have empowered so many other people to just in general, not be afraid. Unfortunately, when you work in entertainment or social media, whatever it is, you can't have my views because it makes you evil and bad and whatever. All I gotta say is I feel great. In fact, I feel so great that I have entered a different era. I'm not really in the teacher professor era anymore. I've taught y'all how to start your channels. I've taught you how to do that. Let's continue on. We're in grad school. We're in Stampede University graduate studies. Take all the tips I've given you in life in general and apply it now. We're in the next chapter. My next chapter is not being a victim, which I never was to begin, but really owning it. Owning the current phase that I'm in, which is that I am unmanaged, which is why I'm posting videos like this. If I had a manager, they would be like, "What are you doing?" I don't have a PR team, no manager. I've been totally self-sufficient for a long time now. And I was so afraid of rebranding or on my second channel, for example, starting a new channel because I thought, oh, brands aren't gonna like me. I'm not gonna be likable. 3 brands have reached out to me, okay, like American-owned brands. And they're like, "Just so you know, our whole team in the office was raving over that video." And we always knew. They're like, "We knew you were a Jesus lover. You just couldn't say it because X, Y, Z, but guess what? We're here to support you." So just saying, I am amazed at how for the past few years, every time when I'm at a low or it feels like I'm at a low, I get blessed again. And it just feels so good. I'm like, why was I saying that? Why was I not saying this before? Because I know what happens. You get canceled, you get negative comments and stuff, but I've established myself enough online where I feel like people in general around me, they know I'm not a hateful person. I will not agree with you probably on a lot of stuff, but it doesn't matter because at some point in society, you could have different opinions. I remember that day. Maybe I'm just old now, I don't know. Who knew that video would have such a positive reaction? And I tell you, I was shaking. Like I filmed and published several videos just like that over the past 2 years. Sent them to my other YouTube friends who are in the Christian closet. And they're like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't post it. Are you ready to risk everything yet?" Like, that's how bad it is. And for those of you acting like, "Oh, it's not that bad," it is that bad. Because a lot of people have made it that bad, unfortunately. They've made it so polarized, but I just feel great. That's all I want to say. So thank you for the support if you're one of those people who have been, you know, cheering me on, whether it's silent or not. I know a lot of you have jobs and you're like, "I don't want to sabotage myself," but all I have to say is this is like the most unhinged video I've made, again, because I'm just walking a fine line here. That's it. It's a breath of fresh air to just accept things the way they are. I am in a different reality. I don't know what reality we're living in right now. I probably sound crazy to you, but let's put it this way. There are 2 types of realities right now. You're either here and you're existing and you know what's going on in the world, you just don't care enough to care, or maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about at all. Maybe it's going in one ear out the other. And then there's this person, which is where I am, where you're so frustrated with not being able to help things and change things and take action about it. So the best action you can do is just being authentic to yourself and using your voice more to talk about whatever. Let me tell you a little story as well. Oh gosh, 6 minutes, I talked so much. I went to LA, as you probably saw, if you've been watching, for the past 2 months. I was in LA for 2 months. And I wasn't signed to an agency, but I was working with somebody who works with an agency, sending me out on several auditions, okay? Not a week, but several auditions in that time frame. Sidebar. When you're an internet person, you bypass the whole struggling actor phase. You don't have to go wait tables and do this and like stress yourself out going on LA castings, all that. You get invited, okay? So can we just first acknowledge the incredible blessings and the privilege that comes with being in my position. That's also something I've realized over the past few months, where I'm just kind of like feeling elated lately, like, wow, I made a lot of content on how to make content because I wanted people to feel what I'm feeling now. I want people to also have the luxury of time. I wanted them to have the joy it is to just choose whatever you want to do throughout the day, you know? But, excuse me, it's like coca powder in my throat. Yeah, so I was basically walking into castings is what I'm telling you. So the point is that I've been handed multiple opportunities. Now, obviously not the exact role, but I have been handed the position that a lot of people who move from all over the country go to LA for. They want to be famous, they want to be an actor, whatever it is. I just wanted a job. I just wanted somewhere to be. Honestly, and just read some lines because it's fun to me. I used to do theater and all that. The fact that I was handed these opportunities via email by 2 different people, casting director said, I see you as this role, come audition. I, park it in LA for a little bit, go to these auditions. I immediately just lost interest. For me to talk about that, and I don't want to sound like, the Gwyneth Paltrow, like, being a celebrity and rich is depressing. You don't want to do it. Not like that. Not that I'm a celebrity at all, but the fact that I walked away from that, the fact that I threw that away is monumental because I'm just so rooted in my faith. And I've always been rooted in my faith, but y'all just didn't know. But a lot of you did know, okay? So it's just, I don't know. Like I feel so relieved, but also I like grieve the old version of me, if that makes sense. I grieve the old young version of me where I could just go to these auditions, read these lines, which are spewing, in my opinion, a certain message that is not remotely godly, acting out characters that don't align with me or my values or beliefs. Like 16-year-old me, because I was very lukewarm as a Christian back then, because I wasn't really in the word reading, I would have gone on these auditions, hung out with certain people, gone to these parties and done whatever, and just done whatever to get ahead, because I just didn't really care back then, because I thought you have to compromise to be happy. I thought you had to bend on your beliefs to get to the next level. But I am living proof, again, if any of this still makes sense to you, that you can live a nice life. It doesn't have to be luxury, whatever, but you can have a nice life and still be true to yourself. But at least as of right now, I have not been punished for coming out for anything I've said. I'm just not scared anymore. I'm just not driven by fear at all anymore. And it feels amazing. It feels amazing. And I've just been blessed and paid back tenfold every single time. So that's what I've been up to lately. I mean, I haven't been sitting in a corner overthinking about all of this, but I mean, I went out to LA, was trying acting, was propositioned twice, which is so funny. I'm like, why me? By just seedy Hollywood stuff, if you know what I mean. And had another realization that I think one of my mentors there was actually trying to sabotage me because of some strange resentment, which it's personal. I won't go on it about here, but basically it wasn't in God's plan for me, I think, to be acting in Hollywood, at least not at this time. So yeah, I should have just titled this video mental health update. That's what I should have said that at the start of this video. Here's a mental health update, guys. Tried out a different career path. Was given some lines in a script. Realized that they were forcing an agenda, if you know what I'm talking about, like trying to force some weird message through this character for this show. And yeah, I could take, you know, if I got the role, which I definitely could have gotten because I fit the mold for the character. If I got the role, I would be on TV saying stuff that I just think doesn't belong in TV. It just doesn't belong there. It's just weird. It's just forced. It's like why Victoria's Secret fell apart. I don't even care about Victoria's Secret. I don't wear Victoria's Secret, but it's the same reason why everyone's like, bring back the normal models. It has to do with that. It's just this weird forced messaging. I've just kind of broken up with the idea of ever acting in a show like that. It's a shame because that could have given me, again, clout. It could have given me a lot of money, probably in the future. It could have given me all these access to things, but I'm like, what things do I need? Like, what am I missing out on? FOMO. I'm like, I moved to LA briefly because I had FOMO, but I'm like, fear of missing out on what? What am I missing out on? Nothing. Nothing at all. I own a home. Like, I'm thriving. I'm so blessed. I have everything I need. But it's the greediness that got to me. And it's hard for us to admit, like I said, when we're living in our ego, to admit that we don't need everything at our fingertips. And that is the tea.